Hello everyone, my name's Cliff and welcome back to my channel. This is Cliff's Dark Gems. And if you're new here, welcome for the first time. And tonight, it's heating up here in South Africa. Weather's getting warmer. It's time to do a summer tag. Stay tuned. Hey everyone, this is a 101 Days of Summer tag created by Dee from the Reading Room, and I was tagged by Isabel Reeds, and I was tagged 5 months ago, people. This is kind of midwinter for us then, so I'm going to do it now. Perfect timing. I'm behind on my tags, but yeah, this is a summer tag and I love the prompts, so let's just get straight into it. Prompt number 1, BBQ Time. Pick a favorite author. They are inviting you to a barbecue to announce their newest work. What do you hope they are announcing? What are you bringing to share? Okay, I know that I've done this before, and I'm not saying that braai, South African braai, better than a barbecue, but I think it's important to know the difference because a braai is such an important part of our culture here in South Africa, a way for family and friends to get together, and I'm sure that's the same for a barbecue. But yeah, it's a massive part of who we are as South Africans. And yeah, it's a huge communal event at any time of year. And it's different in so many ways. So let me just please explain. I know that a barbecue, I did some reading up, I think you use gas. A braai, you don't use gas at all. It's basically wood. It's burnt down into coals and occasionally charcoal. But wood is more fun because people sit around the fire and wait for the fire to be ready to cook meat on. And yeah, it's got to be the right temperature, not too hot, not too cold. I think with a barbecue it's got to be a sort of certain temperature, kind of low heat, and you use smoky, maybe use smoky wood as well or something. But it's a totally different taste and a totally different approach to cooking meat out in the open. And also the nice thing about a braai, so when you've finished cooking the meat and everyone's eating, you know, with their salad and their meat and their potato salad and other sides, then it's time to stoke the fire again. Put some more wood on the fire and sit around the fire and eat your food. So that's lovely. It can take anything from 3, 4, 5 hours to all day, and in the evening, okay, I've said enough. But it's just so much part of who we are, especially in summer. So, who would I invite? Who's inviting me, a favourite author? I used to say Stephen King, but I'm going to go with Robert McCammon. He's my new favourite author. And what would I hope that they would announce? What would he announce? Anything. I think he stopped writing. I would love for him to announce to me around this barbecue that he's writing a new book. Doesn't have to be the Matthew Corbett series. I think it finishes at book 10. I'm not there yet. But it could be any new novel, novella, short story, I don't care. I love his writing. And yeah, what would you bring? What are you bringing to share? I think it'd be salad, potato salad, because we cook different meat at a braai. Like pork chops. Not so much pork chops. Most popular is probably steak. Lamb chops. Whole chicken. Marinated. There's a whole thing of preparing the meat. I'm not going to go into it. I'm getting excited, people, because I love my braai. Probably noticed. Yeah, so I'll bring the salad or potato salad or something, because I don't know the meat they used in barbecue. Right. Prompt number 2, road trip. Pick a real world setting from a recent or not so recent read. Where would that road trip take you? Well, I'm going to go for real world first of all. I found this difficult, but yeah, I'm in love with Africa, so I'm going to go with Walter Smith, Elephant Song, and I could go with any of his books, really, to be honest, because a lot of them take place, or most of his books, take place in Africa. So if I'm going to go on a road trip, it would be through deepest, darkest Africa, the wildlife, and yeah, that would be my choice for that. And I was thinking, the first thing when I saw this, I was thinking fantasy world maybe, a road trip through a fantasy world. And I'm going to go with Middle Earth, and go with Lord of the Rings by J.R. Tolkien. Maybe a trip, we might do a bit of a detour when we get to Mordor. Maybe not Mordor, but maybe like, yeah, Hobbiton, and maybe go to see the elves and go to a few other places. That'd be nice. Prompt number 3, camping. Do you rough it, say tent and a sleeping bag, or do you require amenities? Will you read more than usual? Okay, let's go. Do I rough it? Yeah, when I was younger I used to rough it all the time. I was a field guide, so I lived in nature. And I lived in a tent, a sleeping bag, a mat on the floor, and that was fine by me. Absolutely right. But now we passed 50, and yeah, married, my wife and I think we could still rough it. I think we're still tough enough. But yeah, when we go out, or when we go away, we'll hire a little cabin, or we'll hire a little cozy cottage, dog friendly of course, and yeah, by the beach. We live here, but like, yeah, that's the way that we'd normally go. And then, will you read more than usual? Yeah, we normally read a lot when we go. We read a lot anyway, but if we've got nothing to do, then we'll read, yeah. Okay, so that's that. And then prompt number 4, festivals. You're attending a Booktube festival where dressing as you're one of your favorite literary characters is only a requirement. Who do you go dressed as and why? Well, there's no other name that pops into my mind right now than Roland of Gilead. Yeah, the gunslinger. With the hat, yeah, with the whole look, the western look, the 2 guns. That'd be cool. He's a badass character, so I'm going to go with that. Okay, and then over here, we've got prompt number 5, slice of life. What is something others may consider simple or mundane, but is something you can't see a summer without? Okay, I've actually just written a few things down here. Sunsets, sitting and watching sunset, African sunset. Walking and playing ball on the beach with Layla. We do that every day, but it's even nicer. It's better in summer. It's got that little bit of a tropical feel. It gets pretty hot. And then swimming pool. Can't do without that. We'll swim with Layla, and yeah, I'm looking forward to that when the weather heats up. Spend a lot of time at the pool. And then braais, people. Once again, we love our braais. Even if it's just the 2 of us, make a nice fire. We can take our time. And then do an outdoor market just up the road from us. And of course, reading a good book. Okay, prompt number 6. Which author would you invite to go camping with you, knowing you would want to read the scariest story they can tell around the campfire? I mean, I could go with Robert McCammon, but for this time I'll go with Stephen King. Right? I know he can tell a very good short story. Very scary short story. So yeah, I'll make a big fire, sit around the campfire with him. Yeah, wait for it to burn down, make some coals, have a braai, and then he can tell us some nice scary stories before and after the meal, of course. Yeah. Okay, prompt number 7. First love, summer crush. A romantic interest during the summer months often leads to a bittersweet ending or a lasting impact. Which do you prefer to read? Yeah. How does the age of the characters affect this opinion? I'm not a romance reader, people. I'm mostly a horror reader. Yeah, just don't go there, so I don't know how to answer this question. Well, I can say I have read a romantic subplot. It was incredibly well done in an awesome novel by Stephen King. He wrote this romance very, very well. That is 11/22/63, people. Magnificent novel. You need to read it. And yeah, it's a beautiful love story. Yeah, I can't really answer the rest of that question because I really don't know how to. But yeah, you must read 11/22/63. It's a time travel, adventure, thriller, love story, as I've said. Just so much in there, so much packed in there. Just beautiful story. Okay, prompt number 8, nostalgia. What book or books imbibe you with an overwhelming sense of summer nostalgia? They don't necessarily have to take place during summer, but provide a strong attachment to summer somehow. Now, I love coming of age novels. Yeah, I actually did a top 10 video, my favorite coming of age novels. I'm going to link that at the end of this video, and you must check it out. But yeah, I love those books that give you a sense of nostalgia and youth, the yearning for bygone days. And I'm going to give an example of one book that I haven't mentioned very often. That is Dan Simmons' Summer of Night. Yeah, it's about a group of kids during summer in a small town, and they go out, yeah, on summer holidays, and they have to battle this evil that's pervading this town, that's in this town. And it's a beautiful story. Look, I can go on with all the other ones. I'm not going to mention the others, I've mentioned them already, but you can see my video at the end if you want some coming of age recommendations for that, yeah. And then, number 9, summer stories, yeah. What is a book or books you would recommend with the summertime as a primary focus? So yeah, just see above. I'm going to go with Summer of Night again, but I can go with quite a few. I mean, Something Wicked This Way Comes, I can go with Boy's Life. There's so many I can talk about, but I'll link the video at the end of this video. Okay, yeah. Okay everyone, that's the end of the tag. Thanks so much for tagging me, Isabel. And yeah, I don't know, I don't think I'm going to tag anyone for this one, mainly because you're all entering into winter up there, and I wish you well. Some people enjoy winter more than summer, so it's not really like not kind of going ha-ha. And actually I can tell you the summers here get pretty damn hot, people. Unbearable. The heat and the humidity, subtropics. Yeah, it's like when you get into the into the shower and you go out and you start sweating immediately. So when it's summer here, we actually kind of wish for winter. So yeah, so we're not that lucky. But yeah, there's some pros and cons to both, aren't there? But what do you think of this tag? Let me know down in the spaces below. Yeah, I'd love to have a conversation with you. And until next time everyone, take care of yourselves, keep those pages turning, and cheers.